Adam from Zucca, you're back again.
Sorry.
Pasta, pasta, pasta. But it's a little bit different today.
Yeah, it is.
We're using risoni. What's risoni?
So risoni is a rice-shaped pasta. So we're going to do a little bit of a spin on the old risotto funghi. We're going to do risoni funghi.
Yep.
So we're using the pasta in the exact same methods. We're going to half cook it under al dente in the water. Then we're going to strain it, and then we're going to fry off all our mushrooms, put the pasta in, and then add the chicken stock and just absorption method.
I'm looking forward to this one. What can I do to help you
can get
start
straight
with?
into it. Let's get you to dice me finely one white onion.
Yep.
Whilst you're doing that,
Yep.
we've got some porcini mushrooms.
Okay.
So some dried porcini mushrooms there. So what we're going to do is take some of that boiling water from the pasta before we add it into there, and we're just going to rehydrate them. So that will just bring them back around.
How long does it take to do that? I mean, you're using warm water.
Yes. Look, if we can sit this for a couple minutes and get all that beautiful flavour, and the porcinis, they smell
Oh, being
amazing.
a dried mushroom intensifies the flavour, doesn't it, when you rehydrate them again? You can really taste it.
You can. And
in
what
the
I'm going to
dish.
do is just use a little bit of this, obviously the liquid from the porcini sitting in there, just gives it some bold structure of mushroom. It just gives it some guts to the dish,
Yep.
so it's really good. So you're going to slice me that onion. We're just going to finally sweat that off in a bit of butter and oil.
Ooh, okay.
So traditionally, it's lots of butter, you know, lots and lots of butter with the risotto. But we're doing the risoni.
Yep.
So look, oil in.
So it's very similar to a risotto.
Exactly right.
Pasta, because it's
Pasta,
It's
exactly.
not rice, yeah.
We'll get some butter into there as well. And what I'll get you to do next, we've got some fantastic mushrooms also. So your most common, just everyday button mushroom there.
Yep.
Then we've got some large field mushroom at the back, and then our Swiss browns as well at the front.
Okay.
Our water's boiling, so I'm not going to get the pasta on just yet. Because we're going to cook it half under, so we're going to bring it pretty much under al dente, we only need about 4 to 5 minutes in the water.
Okay,
So first...
really fast.
Yeah, really fast.
Yeah. Okay, I'll chop some of these.
Yeah, chop some of them. We'll get the onion in there.
Get some garlic.
Yeah, just smash it up. Look, it will all cook down. So look, we'll sweat off the mushrooms, we'll get the pasta into the water, and we'll go from there.
So at the moment, we've got some beautiful mushrooms.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can use whatever you can find.
Whatever.
Or, you know, just use porcini and maybe just button.
The only thing I'd say with the porcini, they're very strong, they're very
strong.
bold. So, you know, just watch how much you're using.
Yeah,
A little bit of
okay.
salt and pepper I'll pinch from you. So in goes that. And look, you know, you might like the oyster mushroom, and then certain times of the years, you know, you can get your the pine ones, so from the forest, you go picking them. You know, they're fantastic,
They're
yellow
nice
looking.
and beefy, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're good.
They're lovely.
Enjoy them. And you got me the garlic, which I'll just get into there as well.
So I'm just cutting these all different shapes.
Yeah, because we want a bit of texture with it. So, you know, so we've got some thinly sliced and then some with a little bit bigger. They look great.
What we've done is just brush them. If there's a little bit of soil, never wash your mushrooms because they're like sponges. They just drink all the water.
So I'm going to pinch some of these mushrooms and start getting them into there. So there we go. Let's look at that. See, already we can see that all that butter and oil within the pan's gone. The mushrooms are just absorbed it just like that.
Yep.
So we might get you to pass me over some more butter.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And
I'll get the whole knob in, look, that whole lot in there. So at this point, I'm going to start thinking about getting my risoni into the water.
Okay, I'll pass that to you.
Thank you. And always remembering a good handful of salt.
A good handful of salt.
And you know me, my handfuls. In it goes. Little bit. So good. And in we go. Like
I
so.
sometimes put it in a bit of soup, actually, if I've got some soup, just to thicken it up the next day.
You substitute it for your rice. So don't put rice. Next time, put risoni. Like you say, making a nice soup, nice chicken broth, you know, winter time, beautiful. We do a dish at the restaurant where we steam open some mussels with a bit of garlic, and a little bit of chilli, fresh tomato and dill. And then we put the risoni in, and then we finish it in the oven, just bake it off with some crumb feta all over the top, just some nice, you know, Greek feta, really sheep's milk. Yeah. It's beautiful. Just, you know, sucks it all in.
And like all the risoni, because it's so small, as soon as the mussels open, it would fill with the risoni, wouldn't it? So it'd be like a whole meal in itself.
So you pick up that little shell and you've got the risoni and the mussel, it's great.
Okay.
But back to our mushrooms, let's get them all in there.
Great.
Let them collapse. We'll get the lid, speed up our cooking process with the rice. So we're going to cook it half under. See, look, 4 or 5 minutes, strain it off, and then we'll add it into there with our stock.
Okay, and when are we putting the porcini?
The porcini will come in a minute. We'll take out the mushrooms, then we'll keep the liquid, and when we add the pasta into there, we'll add the liquid as well. So immediately, the hot pan with the pasta in there will just suck in, the pasta will suck in that porcini liquid, and you've got great flavour.
Extra flavour. Good idea.
All right, Justine, so those mushrooms have collapsed quite well.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do quickly is just check our risoni. Remember, we're not going to al dente, we're going...
Starting the cooking process.
Yeah, so a little bit under. So it's still quite firm, it's still raw. So we're going to turn that off.
Yep, all right.
You get me the strainer, we'll get that into there.
Yep.
So we'll strain that risoni.
Okay.
So look, the risoni's only half cooked, but now we're going to finish it off.
This is a great little idea.
Get those porcini in there.
And you're putting some of the water in there.
Yeah, we're going to add that in a sec.
Drinking that. Yep.
And those flavours, you can smell it immediately. As soon as that porcini gets into the pan, it just changes it all. I love porcini. Look, it's...
mushrooms in general. If I was a vegetarian, I would eat mushrooms every day of the week.
With the risoni at this point, if you need to, you can add just a little bit of oil.
Okay.
Right, because it does stick together just a touch. Yep. So we just add a little bit like that.
Yep.
And all I'm going to do is add some of that into the pan, like so. And now give a little bit of work through.
Can I get rid of that?
That can go, for sure. Now, at this point, that porcini liquid straight in.
Okay.
And so basically what we're working on now, like a risotto, is the absorption method. So you add in some stock, you let it reduce, so it absorbs into the actual risoni, the pasta. So we've got some stock as well, some chicken stock, so we're going to add that into there.
You didn't start the process like a risotto, cooking it from scratch. You wouldn't need as much liquid at all. It's just to finish it off.
Just to finish off stages. So, you know, probably another 5 minutes of this, gradually absorbing all that stock and the porcini liquid, and we're ready to go.
Big one there, that's gorgeous, isn't it?
Nice, look at that. Might get you to chop with some fresh parsley. So remember, always add your herbs at the end, so you got that nice crisp taste to it, so it's not all dry and old and gone all bitter.
It's just a last minute freshen up.
Exactly right. Just give some colour to the dish. I can smell that cooking away. We're going to add some parmesan too, and we're going to add some more butter right at the end. The butter's just going to add the extra depth and richen it even more. Look, this ain't no diet dish, let me tell you now. But in saying that, you know.
Oh, I mean, you know, if you don't eat it every day, then why not? You know?
Why not, eh? Look at that. It's absorbed it. And at this stage, I like to add some more butter.
Okay.
And give it that rich flavour. More. Come on, you should know this.
I love it. I'm not complaining.
So we'll get that into there. Yeah. Good couple of knobs. Yeah. Like so. Some parmesan.
Parmesan.
So get that into there. Yeah.
A bit more than that.
Another one for me.
I was going to say.
That's the way. Look at it.
Oh, I'm going to like this one.
So we're right at serving point now, Justine. Grab our plate. It's the parsley just at the end here.
Okay.
And that goes. So just give a little flick around. And there we go. And look, like a good risotto.
It's just right.
Just right. Let's get some of those porcinis on top.
Porcini.
My favourite. Look at that risoni, you know? Great way of using pasta instead of rice.
Look at that.
Looks good.
Finishing off with some parmesan?
Yeah, just some grated parmesan over the top to finish.
Okay.
Personal preference. I love parmesan, so you know.
Oh, just a little bit.
Look at that. Beautiful.
So there. Different way to use pasta. I mean, it looks like risotto.
Sure does.
It's easier to do.
But it's pasta. San Remo Risoni, Funghi pasta.
Fantastic. Can't wait to try this.
Let's get in.
Where's that porcini mushroom?
Get out of it. Come on.